All right, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone had a good weekend. If you guys are here, just let me know in the chat. Just want to make sure everything's working. We're going to jump straight into it. We're going to mark up our charts, and then I'm going to explain the title of this video because I had a pretty important breakthrough, I think, this weekend about where I'm at and where I'm going, and wanted to share it with you guys. Now, before we do that, though, let's see. What's up, guys? Yep. All right. Sounds good. Chat's good. All right. We are locked in and good to go. So we've got our trading hours coming up. New York kill zone 8:30 to 10:30. We drew on our wick market structure in terms of the 15-minute candles here. And looks like we took some sell side right there. We've got some building sell side looking like it's about to get taken right there. And then nothing until a little bit further down there and up here. We're gonna see if this is actually even about to shift after taking that sell side, but we want to look for an entry within our actual trading hours. And you can see after we did take the sell side down here, we actually did not shift. We did not create a market structure shift, which would not happen until it looks like right. Let me just draw it on because I want to be sure. I don't want to try to eyeball it. Yeah. Either way, I don't think. Yeah, we're actually even taking this sell side right in here. Market structure shift wouldn't even be somewhere until like at least up here. So we're probably going to have one sooner here if we are going to get in for buys. Now, I put the title of this video as 4-day win streak. And I'm going to break this down because like I said in the last streams last week, since we've been getting back into streaming, my main goal is to just keep streaming right now. Like, that is my main goal. I want to stay consistent. I want to get on here. And I watched a little bit of one of the Words of Wisdom podcast this last weekend. And I'll be honest, I didn't watch a lot of it at all. But I saw a clip from one of these guys. I don't even remember his name. But he said, like, people's problem is that they just don't sit through their losing streaks. They just don't trade long enough to be able to just have their sample come back around and give them wins. And yes, like, we started off these streams on a little bit of a losing streak, and so I'm like, I was a little upset. I'm like, dang, I just back tested the last several months. I know this strategy worked last year. I traded it last year and it worked. Why in the world did we just catch 3 losses in a row coming back to the streams? And it's like, you automatically get in your head, especially jumping back into the streams like that. Hey, is this gonna work? Da, da, da. So I'm like, I am not changing anything. I know this works. I've made money doing this, and I know the back test just showed me over the last several months we've got like an 80% win rate. So it was like 82%. So let me just really quick too mark up everything in here. It looks like we're a little bit higher up in there, so we could have a shift in here. Could be looking to get long right above here. But so, long story short, I told myself, I'm like, because that's my biggest problem, right? I always want to change things. I always want to take something good and make it perfect, and I don't give it enough time, right? Even last year when we were trading this way, we didn't do it very long, like only a month, and we still did very well for that month. Now, had we not ever stopped and maybe just, I think, lowered our risk, I think we were just trading too heavy, we would have still been trading the same way to this point in this year, and who knows where we would have been at that point. And so the title of this video says we're on a 4-day win streak. Now, to me, my aim and my goal is going to be, if I show up every single day and we execute the same plan and we don't change anything, we're going to see how that's winning to me, right? Because winning is not a matter like of making profits or losses. The profits and the losses are both part of the trading plan. They're both part of any trading plan, not just the profits. So the losses are part of the plan. So the losses and the wins, I can't control when they come to me, so that can't be a measurable goal. The measurable goal has to be showing up and executing without changing anything. And so to do that, I'm going to redefine winning as we showed up, whether we took a loss or a win, we showed up, we've stuck to the plan, and if we can do that over 50 days, over 100 days, over 200 days, and we can show up and stream and just take one trade a day and execute like that, I mean, I'm really of the belief we're going to take a lot more money out of the markets than we give. So that's the whole theme now of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be redefining winning as literally showing up and executing, and then in doing that, we're going to establish a winning streak. Now, it has nothing to do with profits or loss. It has everything to do with how disciplined we've been, and we're going to really track our discipline and consistency. So today's day 4 of the 4-day winning streak of not changing anything, and it's my commitment to just keep showing up and to keep cranking out trades and to keep building that winning streak so we can just have as much consistency for as long as we can, with a goal that we can control, right? So what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. GamerCat, Rightly Rich, Jake, Nasha, Anthony. It's good to see you guys in here. We have taken buy side. We are in a 15-minute uptrend, so I'm not completely against starting to flip upwards. Now, this is probably the protected low of this 15-minute range, and we made attempts to push even higher and create a new higher low. We did not close higher on the 15-minute, we did on the 1-minute, and now price is coming the other way. Structure shifts so much, so it's like you can't really have a bias. The trend really can't be your bias. When you're going 1-to-1 versus reward, you don't really need to trade either with trend or counter trend because you're hitting 1-to-1s. If you're going positive versus reward, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, you almost always have to be with trend, almost always. But for me and what I'm doing, I'm just looking for points of liquidity to be swept, and then to look for that market structure shift after they've been swept. You can see now we actually have a new point of interest. If we actually get above here now and close above here, I am going to be looking for a buy. That's going to be a valid market structure shift. So I'm going to get that ready. It looks like it could actually be happening here soon. Potentially. We'll have it ready nonetheless. I'm going to be executing on MetaTrader, by the way, and then we'll swap over there. We'll see if we get it, though. We closed lower, created this low. See if we can't swing up a little higher, though. It looks like it's not wanting to at the last minute here. But it's a fresh week, a fresh set of 5 trades, and a fresh chance to just execute and establish more winning days. All right, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Let me go back to the chat. Need to create another system while using this? What do you mean, like another strategy to trade alongside this, or to trade like 2 strategies at once and like diversify, or? Yeah, I had thought about that. I had thought about trading futures while trading Forex, even doing it like that. And I think that's a place we'll get to. But right now I want to just kind of establish myself with taking this one setup a day on Forex. And then once we really get comfortable with what we're doing, we'll lock in and probably do something else alongside it. We are long now, just so you know. We're going for 10 pips. We had a clean market structure shift right here. And this is our trade. Now I'm going to swap over to IG though on the MetaTrader for us to actually put our parameters in place. So 10 pips higher, 10 pips lower, 1-to-1 risk to reward. That's all we're going for today and every day. And let's see what price we got in. 16,852. Let's put that on here because I know everyone says it's a lot cleaner to look at on TradingView. We are in this trade though at this price, 16,852, and this is where we're at now. For context, if you guys hadn't seen, We on the 15-minute chart, we just started taking 2 different points of sell side liquidity, and basically we have got now a fresh market structure shift after taking that sell side liquidity, and now we've got a just flat 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio for the trade to go up and go higher. So we've got, and it's during our New York kill zone. We have all the moving pieces of a profitable trade. This is an A+ setup. This is a setup I would take over and over again, and now we just need to let it play out. What's up, Jerry? What's up, Luboslav? We are in our trade for the day. Sell side liquidity has been taken. 1-minute market structure has been formed, and now we are going to let it play out. We don't have any news today. We've got CPI tomorrow, PPI on Wednesday, unemployment Thursday, nothing Friday. Which I'll be honest, when I was over trading futures, I was not looking at the news that much, just in all transparency. Especially like 8:30 news. You don't need to look at 8:30 news because it's just not there. Or you're just not like there for it, if that makes sense. You're almost not even turning on the charts every day until after 8:30. But you know what? Honestly, this probably wouldn't even be the worst to look at if we change the colors, but I'll probably just leave it like this and then we'll go back to trading view. But how's everyone else's trading going? Have you guys traded today already? Are you guys like in any prop account or cash account? Are you guys starting fresh this week? Are you guys trading the macros with NQ right now or ES? If we do anything, we're gonna if we do anything alongside this, it's gonna be the macros with ES or something, and then like if we trade another system alongside this Forex system, it's definitely gonna be ES, and it's definitely gonna be the macros, the macro ranges. Like, here's what we can do. We're about to approach the pre-market macro. It could be just something for us to look at while we're in this trade. We could even paper trade the macros while we do this, just to have something else to do on stream. But this is the trade we're actually in. Why ES over NQ? Honestly, no exact reason. We could trade either. We could put up NQ. Getting another 50K. That's what's up. You're on phase 3. That's huge, man. Congratulations. Okay, let's put up NQ. Instead of ES. Yeah, we don't even have the pre-market macro formed yet. That's not even for a half hour, so. Lewis, yeah, I'm glad you asked. That's why I'm going to want people to start asking when they come to the streams, 4-day win streak. Because what I'm doing is I'm redefining winning. And I know it's going to sound cheesy. Some people are going to be like, that's stupid. But I need to get myself to a head place where I can stay consistent for a long period of time. And I really thought about it over this weekend. And I tried so many different things. I'm like, I know my strategy works. I know I just need to trade it long enough. And I know I just need to get back on the streams long enough. And I'm like, how am I going to do that? And it's only by the way you think that you're going to be able to do that. And I'm like, how do I need to think in order to do that? So I had this idea. I went to a sauna house yesterday, which is like you go back and forth between the sauna and the cold plunge. And I was thinking about it, and when I was in the sauna, it was like, I don't know, like, it just came to me. I was like, I need to establish like a theme on the streams. We need a goal that we can control. So we need a goal that on a daily basis that I can actually have some say in. Now, if that goal is to make money, I don't have say in that, right? Because like I can trade a strategy, but I don't know when the wins or losses are going to come in the sample. So if my goal is to not lose trades, I have set a goal for myself that I have no control over. Now, if the goal is to execute a strategy, then that's something I have control over. I have no control if that strategy produces a profit or a loss for that day. Now, the thing is though, if you have a profitable strategy, you should be making money over like 100 trades, like or 500 trades or that. Like you really like to make serious money with the strategy though, you have to crank out trades long enough. So I was like, okay, I need to redefine what it means to win on a daily basis, because on the days where I'm losing money, I don't feel like I'm winning. And losing money is part of trading. It's part of any trading plan, honestly, if you really think about it. So I had to tell myself, okay, what is something I can control on a daily basis that I can constitute as a winning day? And that's going to be executing and not changing anything. So I know there comes times where the strategy does need to be tweaked and whatnot, but it's like, I personally know myself and I have a problem with tweaking when it doesn't need to be tweaked. So part of winning for me too is not changing anything at all. So if I don't change anything at all and I execute exactly how I said I was going to execute, we're going to count, and I showed up on stream, of course, that's going to count as a winning day. So those three things for me are going to be what make up this winning streak. And I want to see how long I can display that winning streak of consistency and discipline. Whether we make money or lose money, that's going to be up to the edge playing out, and we're going to watch it happen, right? I've accepted the risks that I've put in with this account, and I've also established a system where I start small, and on a monthly basis, if we're profitable, I'll start depositing and trying to double the account on a monthly basis. So like, just so you guys know, we started this month at 4K. Next month, if we're profitable by the end of July, we'll double the account to 8K. Same thing the following month, if we're profitable, we'll double it to like 16K. And we'll really scale up quick like that. And then we'll get back to where we want to be in trading bigger size. But yeah, that's the winning streak thing, is basically, how many days in a row can I show up and do the exact same thing? That's, in simple terms, the winning streak. What's up, Jose? Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see everyone in here. Trade's not doing much of anything since we got in. MNQ. Yeah, we'll just hang. You know what? We'll hang out and we'll just pop off like some paper trades on the macro ranges while we hang out and watch our day trade play out. But which it seems like it's going the other way right now. We gotta get this grid off. I feel like it kind of makes it look messed up. 5%, 5. Yeah, that's why. We just need to take the grid off. There we go. What's up, Michael? Good morning. This is our EU trade. This is the trade we're actually on in our cash account trying to build. And then we'll mess around and just hang out while we're waiting for our trade to play out and take some paper trades on. And just see what we can do with like a 1K NQ account. And then you know what though? If we'll just take a 1K NQ account that we'll just paper trade while we hang out and talk. We'll just do the macro ranges like we did it before. And if we start doing well with it again, we might just deposit and trade two accounts side by side on stream. But when it comes to the Forex account, this is, I don't really like, this is the model that I'm setting after 4 years. But NQ, the macro model is a very good model. Might be the best one I've traded. Might be the only one that, I'll really stick with long term, but I don't think I had it like super dialed. Or maybe just the market, or maybe it's the same thing we were saying like before though. It's like you just got to trade it long enough. I think my problem is I just risk too heavy, right? I just risk too heavy when the strategy starts working, and it's been beneficial to do that in the past. But you catch a you catch a slew of losses and you really screw yourself. So we've got, even though price is coming against us some, we do have this protected swing low here on the 15 minute, and just more sell side liquidity to hopefully react off of if we're gonna go higher. But yeah, this had all the moving pieces for a good trade. Like we took sell side twice, and then we market structure shifted. Price was breaking lower, creating new swing lows, and then we swept higher. So I mean, this strategy long term really should, if I just keep my risk small enough. I'm just so you guys know too, we're risking like 3% a day to make 3%. So catching a little bit of a losing streak really hasn't hurt me that much, right? Um, Whereas before, I could sometimes be known to risk like up to, between 5 and 10%. When you catch like 3 or 4 losses in a row, risking like up to like between the 7, 8, 10% mark, that's when it gets a little hard to keep trading. When you lose a few trades in a row at that risk, but at this risk, you really could sit through it. It's just a matter of patience and discipline. But you guys, all of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are familiar names and faces, and we've you guys have been at least trading for a year, because I've known some of you guys for over a year now. So I can imagine you've been trading a little bit longer. What is the hardest part of trading for you guys in your entire journey for you guys to overcome? That's what I want to know. Because like I've kind of like said it a little bit in this video or this stream, but the hardest part for me is to just keep trading the strategy through losing streaks, and to just stay consistent for a long period of time. Like that is my biggest struggle. Like I'm curious if that's everyone else's, or if you guys got different things you're dealing with. But maybe if you guys, have different things you're dealing with that I might have worked through, I can share that. But if you guys have worked through, like if any of you have really traded one strategy for like months on end without switching things up, like that's very few people I feel like have done that. Like for like a 6 month period, a year period, like it's a lot harder done than said. Increasing the lot. Yeah, that's a big problem to have. It is, because every strategy has a sample of losses in it, and you don't know when they're gonna come. Um, yeah, I get that. It's tough. It's tough to put on size, and it seems like sometimes too you could start to like right when you want to put on that size is right when you start to go into that losing streak. That's when it messes things up. But if you can just happen to catch it at the right time too, though, it does good things for you. You get a bigger payout. You get a bigger run up in the cash account. But at the end of the day too, that's like one thing we were talking about, and that's why increasing size is like something I'm trying to stay away from now on, is because it's not something you can control, right? Like we can increase the size today, but it's like how do we know for certain that today's the day where we're gonna swap over into a string of wins, Like we just can't control it. 12 hours a day, asleep by 10 p.m., miss my setups. Yeah, Lewis, you got to get into the macro ranges then. You got to get into the macro ranges for sure. And just find 1 hour a day that you like. It could literally be any hour, like on the hour. The macro ranges help a lot with dialing in time. If you expect, like, you could even find a trade within a macro range, but I mean, we found like more success trading surrounding the macro range, like reactively, to the trades off of it. But if you could find 1 hour, even in the middle of the night, the macro ranges play out. Like I bet if we popped up NQ somewhere like this is like 3 a.m., right? And you could see 3 a.m. to 3:10. Where is it? Right here. Or not 3 a.m., 2:50 to 2:10. You could see, look at, even in the middle of the night. Let's try to get, hopefully it doesn't, yeah, I think it would play out. No, I don't even know. Well, is that 50%? We'll have to see. It's not, that's why. I was like, that definitely doesn't look right. Yeah, you see, look at macro range played out 3 a.m. in the middle of the night even. The whole idea though is you take a 20-minute time window, Lewis, which is the overlap 2:50 a.m. to 3:10 a.m. It's the 20-minute overlap between an hour. You wait for price to break out one side, you put your stop loss at a 50% extension, and then you literally just target the middle of the macro. It plays out like crazy. It's really hard to figure out which one's going to work and which one's not. But I feel like even if you took all of them in any given day, you'd probably more often than not be green over being red. I don't know though. We did pretty well with them for a little bit. Yeah, even the top of the macro, at least 50%. You could get some high RR trades. Like everyone knows, we were catching some crazy high risk to reward trades, even targeting not even just the top of the macro, but even the other side of the macro. You could really have price run if it's a good macro to trade off of. Well, we'll see if this trade sweeps back for us. We need it to, and we need this to be a different week for us. Strategy didn't play out too well first week coming back to stream last week, but there's probably, if I had to guess, there's probably certain weeks where it's just gonna tend to do worse than others because, like, if the market's just super like heavy in one direction, if we're trying to sweep like liquidity and then reverse it, but the market doesn't want to do many reversals that week and the market's just distributing, which I don't even think was necessarily the case with last week. I didn't even really, in all honesty, look at it from too much of a higher time frame perspective. I mean, yeah, you can see the dumps that we were getting in price throughout last week. A lot of just sharp moves. Really, like, we're probably best in like a more sideways market like this. We'll see if today's an example of that. We'll see. Because the more you can just, the whole idea is just basically people getting chopped up, right? Highs and lows are getting taken, prices reversing after stop losses are getting hit, like just this constant back and forth. That's where we like really thrive with this strategy. But when price just starts to run in one direction, which that doesn't happen as often, like there's some, I don't even know what markets necessarily it was specific to, but someone had made a point and they said that the markets consolidate 85% of the time. So if the markets are only running really heavy 15% of the time, really liquid, like you just don't know when those 15% are going to come, of course, until the markets are moving like that. But if you can just try to take all those setups before that happens, and then when it happens, yeah, you might get screwed on a trade or two, or a whole trading week you might get screwed. But ideally, like, it shouldn't go on like that forever, right? More often than not, liquidity grabs and these market structure shifts and reversals should play out more times like out of the month and out of the year than they don't. But there still should be like that 15% of weeks or even months where it might not. And this is kind of a realization I came to too when I was looking at everything this weekend, and like how I was like, okay, my goal is to continue just for a long period of time, being consistent without changing my rules or breaking the streams. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so no, I really did lose my train of thought. It's because I was looking at something for work on the other screen, and then I was about to say something, but nonetheless, we're Oh, this is what I was about to say. So I was thinking about it this week, and I was like, I almost even came to terms with like the possibility, like if I'm going to continue trading this exact strategy for a year, I was like, what if we even have a down month? Because like I never want to have like a down month, but I'm always saying like it's possible to have a down week. And I came to the realization that even businesses have down months. I don't like, I know that's probably an obvious thing, but like just if for whatever reason it clicked for me when I was thinking about trading. I was like, even businesses sometimes even lose money in a month. And I was like, but they're probably profitable at least 10 or 11 months out of the year. And I was like, if I treat trading the exact same way, is like now I take a lot of the stress off, because it's like, okay, I know that probably I'm going to make money 10 out of 12 months this year. That's not something you want to come to terms with though early on in trading. And it's like it's really, I feel like it's like a maturing in my understanding of how this is going to work and how this is going to go down long term. And just the idea and coming to terms with the fact that I might have a down month, but that doesn't mean my strategy's bad, and I could have a good 10 out of 12 months or 11 out of 12 months. It's really helping me be a lot more like big picture, if that makes sense. And ideally, like if we can avoid it, of course we don't want to have a single down month, we don't want to have a single down week, but we need to come to a place of maturity where it's like, hey, even the pros are having down months from time to time. It's like, if we have a down month, let's just not throw everything out that's been working, right? Because the market was in a weird cycle for that month, So, yeah, Jerry, that's the same exact problem I'm dealing with. So hopefully, like as a community, like you guys don't follow a single trade I take. Let's just do this. You guys just hop on here with me. You guys trade alongside me, and we're going to establish winning days by literally just being on stream together and doing exactly what we said we're going to do. So maybe you guys don't have that like written down in stone yet, but do this evening or whenever it is for you. Really sit down and think. You need to sit down and think about your entire trading journey. I guarantee there have been pockets in your trading journey where you traded a strategy that worked. I can almost guarantee it. At some point in time, you traded something that worked really well, and maybe it had a losing streak and you stopped trading it or whatever. Basically, what I'm saying is take the best of what has worked in your trading and take the worst of what has not worked. Really sit back and think about it. Go back to what has worked. Write in paper and say, hey, I know I back tested this. It won like 10 or 11 months out of the year. I know I tried it and I live tested it, and I had a 1 month win streak where I just crushed it for a month, and I had a little bit of a loss, and I ended up throwing the strategy away. But whatever it is, whatever you think that, hey, if I stuck to this long enough, it would really do me some good, put that on paper for yourself. And then just use this stream as an opportunity to come back with me and just be accountable together, right? And so we'll redefine winning together, and we'll just, whatever you guys are doing, it doesn't have to be the same as what I'm doing, but we can, at the end of the day, even if we take different trades, we can have the same goal, and that's to execute the way we said we're going to execute. And we're going to do that for as long as possible. And here's the catch. If we come to the end of 100 days and let's say we're not profitable, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but even if it is, because it's a possibility and we have to consider it, we know now that we are 100% not the problem anymore, and we overcame a massive flaw in our trading journey. Now, forget even trading like in this instance, we have the ability in us to do something that a lot of people don't have the ability to do, and that is to stick to something for a very long period of time. That is not one of the easiest things to do for a long period of time. So we can come out of it and we're going to win no matter what, because we're going to develop a different level of discipline and self-control that can carry over into any business we ever start, into any other discipline we start. And so that's going to be our goal on this channel, right? Because we can't control making money. We can control executing though. And ideally we'll make money while executing if we do it long enough. So it sucks starting out. I will say another flaw in my trading that I struggle with is starting out in a loss. It's always so much harder to start an account like I did on this stream and to start in a losing streak. But when you come out of it and then you start, building up the equity curve some, it's a lot easier to take those losses on the chin. But that's just kind of how I feel. But we're gonna sit through it, like I said. So this trade's kind of retesting that sell side liquidity we swept. We have another structural shift in here. So I mean, we market structure shifted upwards, then back downwards, and now back upwards again right in here. It's looking good, and we just barely missed. We just barely missed this low right here, which, I mean, it would have been even better for us had we hit it and then went upwards. But at the same time too, we probably were okay not hitting it, because this is in fact a protected swing low in the 15-minute uptrend. So it's actually the fact that it's not getting hit and then we're seeing a reaction up. It could be, institutionally a good sign that the order flow is really going to shift upwards now. Okay, that's what I was going to check when I lost my train of thought. Okay. Is risking 1% per trade not a possibility? No, it 100% is. Yeah, I'm currently risking 3% a trade. As we start to deposit more capital, we'll probably lower that to 2% or 1%. That's 1% a trade is 100% going to be one of the easier ways to trade longer, right? Because the losing streaks aren't really going to affect you. You could take a 10 trade losing streak and you're really only going to be down 10%. Like that's probably one of the quickest and easiest ways to solve the psychological problem. It's just at the same time too though, you could have like a 20 trade winning streak and you're like, dang, I'm only up 20%. You could have literally doubled the account if you compounded even at like 3%. So it's like, it's tough. You gotta strike that perfect balance of, is it gonna be worth it to when you win, but also not hurt and not hurt too much when you lose. That's the balance you gotta find. I think 3% a day is like that for me, but yeah, I don't know. In December we were putting up a lot more risk. We doubled like an 8K account in 3 weeks cash, and then we ran up like a 8K payout. We ran up a 8K payout on a 50K account. So it was a crazy month. But I should have not been carrying that size into January, with Trump coming into the office. The market's kind of shifting some. We were carrying that size into it, and then we had a week where we lost every trade that week. We lost our prop account, and we lost maybe like a few grand off the cash account. So I was like, we crashed out a little hard, but we landed profitable. But still, it was tough going from. I don't even think we lost a trade and that's why we were sizing up too. We didn't even lose a trade for 3 weeks, like didn't lose a single trade that we had put on. And then immediately following, we had a whole week where we lost every trade. I was like, dang, that sucked. All right, we're tapping that protected low at this point. So we'll see if it holds this trade for us. Ideally, it does. That macro is about to finish forming on let me make sure those are 50s. We can just play around and paper trade NQ macros while we wait for our EU trade to play out, which we closed lower now than that low. I don't know if we did anywhere on the 15-minute, but no, we didn't. It's tough to see because, I mean, these market structure shifts after liquidity grabs literally have been playing out for the last quarter. So you hate to see it like not working like as soon as you start streaming again, but that's why this weekend I had to really sit down and think about it, because we caught a string of losses as soon as we come on, and I'm like, dang, is this how I want to trade? And it's like, yeah, this is how I want to trade, because like I've seen it work, and it's like to jump in on a losing streak, it's challenging when it comes to like it psychologically. It 100% is. Let me do this. We'll put up MetaTrader on the other screen. That way I can still see where we're at with the trade. We'll just hang out here on NQ right now. We are still in the trade though. It's the EU macro about to play out for us. The Euro US dollar macro is about to go higher. That's right. You guys work out this weekend? Because I did not. I took a break. I actually skateboarded for the first time in like 10 years. Went with my cousin to the skate park, and we were dropping in and stuff. It was actually kind of fun. But I'm ready to work out again today, is what I was getting at. I needed a break though this weekend. I had to take 2 days off, which you need to do that every now and then if you're really going hard in the gym. Especially if you're taking supplements to like recover and stuff. Like you need oh my gosh, we're about to get tagged out. Let's just go back to EU right now. Yeah, I mean, I've got it up on the other screen. If we get tagged out, I'll show you guys. We're pretty close though to getting tagged out right now. You could see it right here. It might be leg day today, Gamer Cat. It might be. This trade's about to be saved by the very least of it. Yeah, you could see that EU macro formed. We just swept the low of it. It's really a thing on Forex too. It really is. Like that's the low of the macro range. We really, like, that could be the last thing that gives us any hope with this trade. I'll keep it up though. I'll keep it up. And we'll just kind of watch NQ. Yeah, let's see. We'll track this 100K paper account on NQ just to play around with the macro ranges while we trade in the morning, our EU trades. And then I like the idea, who had the idea? Oh, Nasha. We might start trading a futures account and a Forex account and diversify. That way too, that could make sense because if we're on a losing streak for EU, we could be on a hot streak for NQ. So it could balance itself out perfectly. But if you catch a losing streak on both, it's like you probably just need to go hit legs. You need to go hit leg day or something. Anything but be on the markets and trade two losing strategies or two losing streaks, I mean, not even strategies. We really, when it comes to EU, we haven't really taken any type of buy side liquidity in a while. And we've got some sitting right in here, right in here, right in here. Like the most recent though, I mean, I guess we were taking it on this entire move up, right? Didn't even reach these highs though over here. Fell short of them. We're still in this trade though. Let's go to NQ. Yeah, futures is just different. It's a different type of game. It's so much faster. It's almost too fast, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, we're still holding strong. We're not actually even in as much drawdown in this trade right now anymore. We finally peaked back above that protected low right there. We'll see if we can now actually like just push higher and it not continue the downtrend it's in. We'll trade just one micro on a 1K account. I feel like that's like the simplest and easiest way to like measure if you're gonna do good with the macro ranges. Or I mean just with a futures account. You know what would be crazy? What would be crazy is just doing a stream where we just take every single macro trade during New York. We just trade all in New York. That would be a full-time trading job. I'll be honest, since we're not taking this actual trade though, I do need to go to the bathroom and I will be right back. If we miss it, we miss it. It's just a macro paper trade. If not, we'll just look at it in hindsight. But the idea would be as soon as we close outside of one side of this range, we're going to be looking to target equilibrium. But I got to go to the bathroom and it's not a trade with real money on, so I'm not going to actually like sit here and not go to the bathroom for the sake of it. I'll be right back, guys. I'll leave this trade up though. And as you can see on IG, we are still in it. If you guys see those lows get taken here, we're likely out of it. I will be right back though. All right, I'm back. Dang, it started to drive lower for it. All right. We never peaked out on the NQ side either, so nothing really going on over here. Draw that range out. Let's see if we don't get tagged out by spread or anything. You can never be too sure with Forex if you got tagged out by spread or not. Yeah, we're pretty much just retargeting those highs, I guess. From a 15-minute perspective too, we never closed lower than there, by the way. I did see that. We never closed lower, so we do have some more support for us to go higher. Let's see if NQ takes those highs. And keep this up on the other screen. Those macro highs. This EU trade wants to go up so bad. I know it does. We even had another market structure shift in here, if you could see it close enough. right there. I mean, so we're bullish again on the 1 minute. All right, we're short on NQ. Little paper trade. Paper trade of the macro range sweep. But looking back at EU, it's still trying to push down. EU's still trying to push down. Hopefully it doesn't. And our little macro sweep NQ trade. Probably side by side right now, the two best strategies we've traded. And all the yets still about to lose on both of them. That pre-market macro range did not play out on NQ. I wonder if it did on ES. We shall sit with our EU trade then, our actual trade then. Yeah, if I could only figure out a way that like the macro, like how do you know like if a macro is gonna play out or if it's gonna fail? That's the hardest part to figure out. If you could figure out that one piece, it would really be crazy. Like I wonder if you waited for a market structure shift after the macro got taken. But that would be, I mean, that would put us in the trade down here for a sell. Right after 50% already got hit, like something like that. It's like, that can't be right. You know what I mean? So unless you got like a shift up here, like this. Like this, you dip down some, then come higher, then do that. EU does not want to go down. It does not. But it still just might. Yeah, Luboslav, if you figure that out, you have to let me know, because that would be the missing piece of the puzzle, I think. You know what? I think I know what it is. Yeah, you gotta wait for it to get hit on the 5 second. Did it hit there? It's hard to tell. I think it did. It's the high 906.75. Yeah. See, that's the key. You gotta let it get hit on the 5 second. And then you gotta wait for a market structure shift. Wait a second. Yeah, you see? It's hard to track though. Right there would have been it. Markets, yeah, see, so we were, now I'm playing. Buy more EU, are you in? No, I'm not buying more. We regrettingly are buying EU. Let's see if it hit that 5 second shift. Now, the price is definitely bullish. 5 second, 1 minute, even the 15 minute right now. It could very well on this candle, if we close lower here in the next 2.5 minutes, we could officially shift to being bearish on the 15 minute. But we'll see. This is like right now, the next 2.5 minutes, if we maintain below this line or not, it's like the last hope for the bulls in this scenario. And that includes us. That's interesting though, right? That 5 second shift off a macro range. Let's look at the 8 o'clock one. Oh, I can almost bet we did not get something that clean. Yeah, because if you draw this out, we'll see though. Let me see. Oh, I bet there's a false shift for sure. Yeah, because you break higher in here and then you break lower. Yeah, the 5 seconds probably too quick. It's probably way too quick. Let's see if we're still in our trade. We are still in our trade. Alright, let's go back to it. Let's see, yeah, this candle, yeah, we could be switching bearish on the 15 minute when we close lower than here. Which doesn't necessarily mean the trade's like over and we lost. Like it could immediately, you guys know how price can be, it can immediately start going upward again. But we've been hanging, like ideally we don't even drop like in this much drawdown if the trade's gonna work out, right? Like the original market structure shift, like entry itself, like has technically failed, right? Like you can see this is where we entered, and that's technically already not worked out. So like we've already closed lower than it, so this safety net of a 10 pip stop loss is like really all that is, right? But our market structure shift failed. So, and then another one happened in here. If this gets broken through, that one fails too. That's like the only thing we have in our favor right now is this market structure shift. This is a low of another market structure shift right now. Now I'm watching the MetaTrader too, because the MetaTrader's wanting, like, honestly, there's divergence right now between my MetaTrader and my TradingView on the same chart. So like we've matched this low on MetaTrader, you can see right here, but we haven't even touched it on TradingView. Now, we're still in this trade though. We're in it until we're not in it. And now we're not in it. Alright, that is it for the trade for the day. The macro model definitely didn't work. Definitely did not work on NQ. Or at least the way we traded it. That's crazy. What a run up in price. All right, that is going to be it for the day, though. This counts another day of just showing up and executing, doing what we said we were going to do. And unfortunately, we've taken another loss, but we're going to be back tomorrow, and we're just going to keep building consistency, guys. Keep building discipline. Like I said, when it comes down to it, we're going to develop a track record for such a long period of time, as long as we possibly can, doing what we said we're going to do. And if nothing else, we are going to develop such a discipline that whatever comes our way, whether it be trading or anything else, we're going to be able to execute. We're going to be able to have some confidence and belief in ourselves, and actually trust in ourselves to do what we say we're going to do. So that's the goal. I'm heavily being tested by this losing streak, especially coming back into streaming. It's tough, I will say that, and that's why I'm going to continually reaffirm and restate the whole vision, which is just consistency right now. So yeah, no, Jake, I used to trade round numbers when I first started, and I do believe they work for sure, especially in Forex. The psychological numbers definitely work, especially the flat numbers, like where are we at right now? We're at 1.16, so 1.17, 1.18, stuff like that. I used to trade off of a lot. Not really like the 50s or the 75s or 25s, but the flat ones I used to trade all the time. And quarterly levels. So like they would be the 25 sometimes, but like 1750 or like 20 or like 15 or 1250. But all right, guys, I'm going to sign off. We're going to be back tomorrow. My commitment is just to keep showing up every day and keep trading with you guys. I hope you guys are in a winning streak on your strategies. I am in a losing streak on mine. But nonetheless, we're going to just keep our head up. We're going to keep on going. I'm risking like $100 a day. So yeah, we're getting chipped at every day. $100, but at least it's not like $500 a day, or it's $700 or $1,000 a day like we were doing. So I'm glad to be starting low and slow. If nothing else, it's going to be beneficial for us to get this stream back off the ground. So we'll keep showing up. I hope you guys do too. We're going to close this one out in prayer. We always do. And yeah, Father, we just come to you in the name of your son, Jesus. I just thank you for my brothers in this chat, in this stream. I just pray a blessing over them and over their lives, over their trading. I pray that you just develop the things in themselves that they can't, the things that I can't, Father. I pray that you impart to us consistency, discipline, self-control. And I pray that on top of these things, Father, as you give us the ability to show up and execute, I just pray for a blessing and favor to come upon our trading, for the results long term to be in our favor versus not. Father, I pray that for my brothers, that you strengthen them in their disciplines in their lives when it comes to reading your word, when it comes to working out. I pray that you just set them on the right path, and that you bless them with your presence, Father. And I just pray that you just surround us with your angels, and you protect us against the schemes of the enemy, against temptation. Father, whether any of us talk about it, even on these streams, I know we all come to these streams battling our own things. So, Father, we just pray that you protect us, and that you do the things in our lives that we can't seem to accomplish on our own, and that you just remove all the blockage and roadblocks. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. And then you open your eyes to see the trade taken off in your favor. It's good though. I love you guys. We're gonna be back tomorrow. I appreciate all you guys joining. I just like hanging out with you guys again. It's been good. So the theme of the stream is the win streak. We're gonna be back tomorrow for a 5-day win streak, even though we haven't won a trade. And we're gonna keep up with it. I love you guys. I'll see you boys tomorrow.